I'm joined now at the Global Invest Forum here in Paris by Isabelle Bourcier. She is Global Head of Quant and Index at BNP Paribas Asset Management. Isabelle, thanks for joining us this morning. What are the biggest challenges facing investors in the year ahead from your perspective?
I would say there's two big challenges. One is volatility and the second is asset dispersion. The three main reasons for this is the risk of higher US inflation and interest rates, escalation of the trade war between China and the US, and the third one is the persistency of the Italian political risk. This means different strategies, different ways of using ETF. ETF is a good tool for tactical asset allocator, and especially when you need to revise quickly your asset allocation. I would suggest one defensive bet, which is more linked to the Italian political risk, which is an ETF on a FTSE EPRA Eurozone index. Why the property sector? It's a defensive. If you think that there's going to be persistency around the Italian political risk, it means that the European monetary policy will remain as it is with no increase in interest rates. And in this context, the property sector would mean hedge against inflation, higher dividend yield, as we know for the sector, and it's traditionally decorrelated from traditional assets.
Now, you've got quite a big focus on SRI-based product at BNP Paribas. Can that perform as well as, or indeed outperform, conventional funds?
Yes, we have a large range of ETF tracking responsible investment coming from low carbon, SRI, and even ex-controversial weapons indices. So altogether, we manage more than 5 billion euros in this respect. The low carbon ETF is interesting. It has 10 years track record. It tracks an index built by Euronext together with Carbon 4 and CDP. And the index objective is to have global exposure to the European sector or to the European equities with 50% reduction in terms of carbon footprint. And when you look at the performance of this index over 10 years, it's outperforming the MSCI Europe year to date by more than 2%, for example. And it was the same for last year. In terms of SRI, we have a complete offering covering all geographical zone. And it's the same. I mean, when we look at the performance, we're not losing in terms of performance by investing into MSCI SRI indices and through our ETF.
So how actively managed are your ETF and factor-based products?
So all our ETF track indices. We are a passive manager. Our objective is to have the lowest tracking error for all our product range, even for the factor-based product range. The factor-based product range, we've decided to launch ETF tracking BNP Paribas indices, which are calculated by Solactive. And those indices were built by our research teams, notably in terms of selecting the descriptors that are used to qualify a stock towards one of the four factors: value, low volatility, momentum, and quality, and also to have some constraints within the optimization to make sure we control the tracking error of the strategy, which is measured using the volatility of the Jensen alpha. The portfolio construction aims at having a good equilibrium across the sector, which, when you think of the risk of seeing higher interest rates, makes our factor-based product less sensitive to a rise in interest rates. So it's a good solution for investors. We were talking about the risk within the first question about what strategy. Just want to remind people that risk of strategies such as quality and low volatility could be good solution during market turmoil.
We have to leave it there. Isabelle Bourcier, thank you.
Thank you.